Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Kozuki Oden. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring OP06 and EB01. Be it that this leader here is very different, and unlike very many others in the format currently. This is another leader that can reach up to 6k, base power with his ability, kind of similar to Newgate, except for, you have to meet certain criteria before it's active. So for example, if you attach one Dawn to this leader and then swing attack, if you have a unit on board that's of Wanu and it has to be a 5 cost or higher, your leader gains 1000 power until your next turn, which is really good, right? The downside to it is we don't have a lot of 5 drops in Wanu that are relevant. What you see here for 5 drops is literally all we have outside of this dog thing, Kinemon, and then Kozuki Oden. That's about it. So your pickings are kind of slim, which I feel limits this deck to different variations and as much flexibility and all that sort of thing. So I decided to branch out quite a bit and build something entirely different off of a different foundation, be it Red Hawk, Radical Beams with the guard point. So I try to take this as a Newgate approach and try to get myself up to 6k as much as I possibly can and defend it with the counters, kind of similar to like Newgate. But I've also learned a trick here, in which, if you guys remember, we had a leader back in OP04 that did not get a bunch of recognition, and I get it, I understand it. The hype train for her was pretty real, but Vivi did not really pick up a whole lot of steam. But what she did have is a card in which is called Happiness Punch, which I thought was really good. But it only benefited leaders that couldn't attack, therefore leaders who were still active when you activate this ability, right? When you activate the card. Now, what Happiness Punch allows you to do, and why is this relevant to Oden, is because we're going to be playing with something called Red Hawk. Now, how is this similar? Well, Happiness Punch allows you to choose an opponent, which is a leader or a character on their side of the field, right? Minus 2000 power for 1 Dawn, which is great. If your leader is active, you can also minus it again by another 1000. So, in that combination, you can Happiness Punch something, and then you can Red Hawk it, which is really strong. So I try to figure out a combination that can work out with Izo that can do the exact same thing. You discard 1 card in your hand when your opponent attacks you, and then whatever target you want on your opponent's side of the field, leader or character, can minus 2000 power. And then essentially, you can Red Hawk it. So this allows you to get rid of Borsalinos on your opponent's side of the field. This allows you to get rid of Sabos and all that sort of thing, which is really good. Assuming Sabo's effect isn't, on field at that time. But that's just a really cool trick that I don't see a lot of Odens using. And I don't know why. Maybe it's not explored just yet. This is something I thought about a couple days ago when I was at Locals, and I thought it was just pretty chill. Now, in any case, we do include the usual Wanu package here with the Yamato, and the Ryuma. I enjoy both of these, but these didn't make it to my current list when it comes to Oden. Like I said, I wanted to do something entirely different. This here was my first variation of the deck, in which I had a lot of fun with, and I do hope you guys give this build here, this particular build here, a shot. This does exactly what you want to do when it comes to the Wanu package. Of course, you can take out the Red Hawks and the Yamato and go more into Kinemon, which would be the 6 drop, right? You can go back into Kinemon if you want to, and it would look something like this here, for example. You could do something like this and go with like Hikinojo or something like that. These are kind of like the staple builds that I'm seeing running around. This is why I wanted to do something entirely different with the Red Hawks. But to show you guys my final build after doing a bunch of testing with this, I've decided on doing this. Now, don't knock it until you try it. Let me cook. At one point in the meta, we had Newgate running around with round tables. This is probably back before a lot of you guys even played One Piece, because we had Boat way back in the day, which is the stage that's currently banned. Now, in any case, what this allows you to do here with round table in Newgate you can pop every single card in the game if you have Newgate on board. You play down a Newgate, your following turn, you round table something, you attach 2 Dawn, you kill it, right? You remove all blockers, all big moms, all Kaidos, all big bodies, and go about the day. On top of that, this pushes your leader to 7k. If you have a Dawn attached, this pushes your leader to 8k. I think Newgate is a staple in all Oden builds, and it's something you guys should highly consider if you're interested in playing this leader. Now, he is just the base rarity, is about $20 a pop, give or take, but it's definitely worth it if you're interested in playing Oden. Now, we've also splashed in Yamato, just like from the previous build, and at which I think this card is also staple, because we don't have a lot of other options, like I mentioned before, for Wano. You got this, and that's the only other 5-drop that you have. Now, this is really good as well. It's a 7k, and the reason why you could play this over Yamato is because of Red Purple Law. Because that deck exists, this 5-drop, or 5k power 5-drop, is a little bit easier to remove, because it only takes 1 Gordon, and then Law can bottom deck it. Whereas like something like this with 7k power, or Dinjiro for example, he needs 2 cards to play to be able, before he can remove it. So he needs like 2 Gordons, or like a Gordon and then an Otama, or a Gordon and a Law, and then he can, you know, remove this card, or this card. So this is a little bit risky, but the reason why we play it here in this build particularly is because we can cheat it out with Hiyori. And it's very strong into yellow matchups, so in Nell and Katakuri. Now, in OP07, this list is going to change in any case, because we get access to other new cards. But for the time being, even in 07, when they lose Reject, this is going to be a little bit stronger, because it's a lot harder for them to deal with it. But currently, into Katakuri and Enel, this is an option that you guys can use. And then on top of that, we've also included Marcos. This isn't something you see in every single Oden build out there. This is why it's a little bit different, a little bit unique, and I wanted it to work out quite well, considering that Round Table goes well with Newgate. You got the Red Hawk to trigger off the Ezo plays, and then on top of that, with the Round Table, you can play that down on 9 Dawn with Marco, and pop something as well. But overall, we're going to dive into some games today, and I will catch you guys at the end of the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Going to dive into a bunch of games today, come at you guys with Red-Green Oden, which should be a lot of fun. Although, we have a lot of bad matchups in this format, Gecko Moria being one of them, Enel being another, Katakuri, and Sakazuki. So, you do have some of your good matchups, like Oden into things like Yamato and stuff like that. But realistically, let's get rid of, I guess, Yamato here. Realistically, though, it's very hard to keep a 5-drop body on board. That's a Wanu. In a matchup such as this, to be able to constantly get value with our leader. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and do the thing. Swing for 7k to face. I do think, though, this new Ezo is kind of disgusting. Especially in the Oden package. He does work out in Newgate as well, which is kind of cool. Obviously, you don't get the boost for it, but it's just another body on board that can minus 2,000 when your opponent swings. And Newgate always has a lot of cards in hand, so it shouldn't be that bad. Hey, look, removal. Speaking of which, right? Tashigi. So he's going to rest the Tashigi. So minus that to bring back an Absalom. Or, you're going to misplay, and it'll work in my favor, so that's cool. Nice. Does he have it? Yeah, so he has one in trash. Either he thought that was Suru he played down, or he just totally forgot to rest the Shishigi, get the minus cost. Huh. Alright. We'll take those. So potentially we can get 2 swings off here and get a Marco on board. Or we can play Marco like this, pop the Shishigi, and now he's had his chance. Then we go 7 here. Then we go 7 again with Ezo. Let's assume that he did pop the Ezo, right? That would have saved him 1 life there in that scenario. And he would have had an Absalon on board. Because we would have killed the Tashigi anyway with the Marco Otama combination. So he would have Perona, Absalon, and then Leader Swing. But we are at 6k, and we do have Newgate for the following turn, so I don't know if that play would have mattered so much, but we'll see. So no Suru in trash. Yeah. He didn't see any Sindris here, which is nice. I would say I feel for him, but I think a lot of us are tired of seeing like the Great Eruption Ice Age ordeal, so it is what it is. But that one misplay did cost him a life, because he was not able to kill the Ezo. So technically he would probably be at 2 life right now. Or maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have any counter in hand. I don't know. So we did have Suru. Interesting. Unless that was from his life just now. So we get a Hogback and a Borsalino and a Sabo out of that. That was a little dramatic. So he needs to have blockers on board and something to clear my board here to survive. I don't think that's possible. I mean, potentially he could Sabo, right? Or I guess Borsalino into a Sabo. Get 2 blockers up. I don't have any Dawn active, so he could kill Ezo by running that in with Gecko Moria. Uh-oh. So there's an Ice Age. Or maybe he does have the removal here. Ice Age is this. Can Newgate stay alive? That's the question, I guess. Is he swinging to Marco or me? Okay, so he pops Ezo, yeah. I think we counter out this. Because I don't have enough counter in hand to protect myself from the Moria swing. So let's get rid of the Marco. And this way, if he decides to kill it, we can just reborn Marco again by throwing away an event. And now we just have to worry about Absalon and Perona, which we have the events in hand to do that as well. Just in case he has 1 blocker on board, I think I need this Marco to survive. We'll just do it again. Because he has 4 Dawn open, and that's for Borsalino, right? Or I guess 2 dogs, essentially. A or B. So what do you do? Because this should be a good game, like, honestly. Okay, so there's that. We'll get a Hiyori here. So I think we have to go probably 8. Or are we going to swing with Newgate first? Let's go 11k to leader. There's no way he has counter in hand here, so I think he's going to have to block with Borsalino. Yep. And now it should be free. Let's go 9. Or 10, sorry. Math's hard. Nice. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and dive into another one. Coming at you guys again with Kozuki Oden into Kyros, which should be a lot of fun. This is another leader in which we don't see that often. Whether it's here on Sim and or at locals, I've yet to see anybody put together a list here for Kyros. So, I'm kind of excited to see what this man's cooking up. I will be featuring him on the channel here soon as well. I want to get through some other decks first before we dive into that. So, you know, coming from playing a lot of Rebecca, it's only natural, but we'll see how it goes. Now this is interesting though, because I don't see a lot of lists that do run with the like the baby aces and sabos, so we'll see. I don't really know what to expect here. But I did decide to keep a very, very, very greedy hand, so this probably is going to bite me in the butt. At 3 Marcos, it probably wasn't a play. Definitely probably wasn't a play. But I don't know if he plays with a lot of cheap bodies at all, so he might. I know a lot of them play with the still, like the removal package with the Helmepos and all that sort of thing, but... Ooh, okay. So Red Hawk early, which is nice. Let's get down the Hiyori, let's do the thing, play the Yamato down, go up to 7k with leader, sorry. And then we start swinging. So how does he handle base 6k leaders as Kyros? That's what I want to know. Because I would assume this would be one of those matchups where like you don't have enough practice, whether it's on sim or at locals, because you don't really see a lot of these decks all too much, especially Kyros. Now I know he can pop Yamato. That's not how I thought he was going to do it, but alright. I expected like an Ice Age or something. I don't like throwing away Marcos early because it gives kind of away that surprise, because a lot of people don't expect Marco to be in Oden, so sometimes I opt to take early hits for free, even though I know I probably shouldn't. Let's go ahead and go 7 again. Let me get that hand. Thank you. Come on, one more 2k at the very least. Bro, but giving me Hioris in the early game is kind of tough for him. Oh, 2 of them. All right, good luck. We've got 2 Dawn open for a Red Hawk if need be. Just like in case he decides to put down like a blocker here. Okay, Hina. I like it. Suryu. And then he just pops me with Kyros ability, right? Yeah. Nice. That's pretty solid, actually. I just don't know how much investment he can have on board here when he doesn't have a blocker, so he does have Soldier, so me attacking him gives him a 2k. Okay, so he goes 7. I could just give him the 2k here. It's probably the better play. Goes 8. We can just Rad Beam. I think Red Hawking just the Suru is probably not worth it. And again, I don't want to show my hand just yet. Let's just Rad Beam it. That's fine. That's probably something he's already assuming. Okay, that's not what we needed. That does suck. We get an Izo. I think we need to play Dinjiro here. And then we'll just go into the Sabo. We'll probably have enough counter for it. But we could potentially leave up 2 Dawn. Just in case. I need 3k from him. Nice. Cool. Five cards left in hand here. Plays Mom. You know what? Do we care so much about this? Or do we give this man life? I'm thinking about trash in mine, to be honest. I think it's probably better that way. So he can go 8k with leader. Oh, okay. Or do this. Give away a Marco here. Let's go in 7. I think we just go to the 2k. Again, Red Hawking the Suru seems really, really bad. No Nougat yet. That does suck. But it's okay though. Dinjiro's kind of a big boy. So we can play down Marco, they'll pop down the Surio here. Just do that. We should be able to kill Hina as well. And then we have the Red Hawk to protect ourselves from leader, hopefully. Or we can just go bully him, go straight to face. 4 cards left. Let's just do this instead. I don't think Hina is all too much of a problem. Sure. Alright, so now we know they have that 1-2K. Let's do the thing here. We need to leave up 2. We kill this. You shouldn't even be contemplating this. Let it go. Oh my goodness. Alright. I mean, you got it. I mean, we could attach Don to Ezo here, but that would be really, really risky. So, we're going to have to pass it up. As much as I want to. Yeah. Dude, I didn't think he had that much counter in hand, for at least for Hina. That's kind of crazy. Go 6. We'll counter out here. You got 9 Don left to play with. Okay. Did not expect that. Nice. Let's go, boys. We'll Red Hawk the mom. And then his leader can hit me for 9K. Which Red Hawk gives me the 10. So I think we win here. See? Red Hawk putting in work, man. I'm trying to tell you. Pretty good. Pretty good. Unfortunately, he didn't play a lot of bodies on board that I needed to pop. There's Newgate. Where were you at before? Goodness gracious. Alright. I guess we just start poking, right? Swinging for 7. Cool. No 0 cost event. Love to see it. We'll poke him again for 5. And good game, buddy. Nice. Alright, we're going to run it back. This is not something, like, again, we normally do here on the channel, but it's a lot of fun, especially when you play against a leader in which you don't normally see a lot. And I like to give that spotlight to those off-meta leaders, if you guys, you know, have met me here. So, in any case, we're playing again against a Kyros, in which hopefully this one will be a little bit better for him and myself, and I will be able to draw into Newgates here and not have to rely on a Red Hawk off of life. So, yep, you got Momo. That's fine. Play Soldier down on board, though. Alright, let's do the thing. Play it on the Huri. Let's pop it. Play it on the Ezo. Go up to 7K with leader and swing to face. And we get a Marco off that, so we can pop Soldier next turn as well with Marco, which gives us 1 Don left over to attach the lead if we need to. Okay, Sabo. Pretty solid. You can't swing considering we were a 6K, which was nice. I cannot pop the Sabo here with Marco. Otama combo. But we can kill the Soldier and then swing for 6. It was almost clean, man. We almost got 2 7 attacks off with our leader. But I feel like that Sabo is still pretty good in decks like this. Yeah, of course you bring this back. You can toss a Red Hawk, get Marco back on board. We have, what, 5K counter here, so we should be able to protect it. Because I'd imagine he wants to develop something here. That's not what I thought, but that works. Just give you the 2K. All the poke. How about no? Hey, we finally drew into Newgate here on curve too, which is really nice. Well, for the following turn, but still. I think here we should probably worry about clearing board, if possible. 6, 7. Let's go 9k into ace. That means he needs 3k counters to actually protect him here. And then I can leave up some Dawn for the Sabo. Let's go 9 here. Oh wow, alright. Fair. I don't think I'll be able to clear the ace. If I had a 5-drop Wanu on board, then sure. But it's probably better just to clear the Sabo here. Leave up the 2 Dawn. And then pass turnover. Unless he has counter for this too. Nice. Alright, we're hanging in there, boys. We're chilling. We're still at full life, or 4 life, so Radical Beam's not going to get any value here. So I might have to pitch that for Marco. Wow. Is it worth it? I goes 9k there, and then goes 7k with ace. I don't think we can protect it, though. Let's just let it go, and then take some attacks here. Because I'd imagine he would just run Kyros and ace into the Sabo. So we got a Yamato. Goes 8. 3, 4, 5. Let's just take it. Ooh, the round table play. Alright, let's get your boy on board. Let's go 7 lead. Leave the 1 up here for the Rad Beam. I know I could attach it to leader to make myself an 8k, but you know. We'll be okay. We'll get around it. Alright, so they do get the Sabo down. So they run both colorations of Sabo, which is kind of interesting. Swing 7. We can give him the Yamato here. Or we can save the Yamato to rest the Sabo to win game. Let's do that instead. Let's take the hit. Come on, keep him coming. He's got 3 cards in hand. I don't think he gets out of this. And then ace. Yep, goes 9. And this should be game here. Because we just get to rest it and then put everything else on Newgate, essentially. Which, yeah, 16k. Nice. Let's go, boys. Now, I'll be fair with you guys. I do not have a lot of practice into the mirror match when it comes to Oden, unfortunately. This was not a deck that would pop up here and there. I'll be fair with you guys. I do not have a lot of experience when it comes to Oden into Oden. Alright, I get the matchup. I understand what both decks can do, what limitations the decks do have, but this is not something you guys will see a lot here, especially at your locals or here on Sim. So I don't think you need to be like prepared all too much when it comes to this match. Everything else in the format, yeah, of course you do. I just think Oden is one of those decks that it kind of hits sometimes if you don't run into decks that have heavy removal. But then when you do, you kind of just, why am I playing this, right? Let's be fair. But overall, it should be a good game. I think whoever gets their Ezo to stick on board longest will probably have the upper hand. Minus 2k here. And I think we're chilling. Now, what I'm going to do, we're going to rest the Ezo here with the Yamato, right? And then we're going to attack into it. I'm looking to get him to just give me cards to guard out for it. If he wants to take mine down at some point, I'm okay with it. It all depends on how he does this play. If he lets this go, this is a huge tempo swing in our favor. Oh, he's actually going to guard out. Okay. This is going to hurt him in the long run. Yep. Because we're going to attack into it again. Cool. Sweet. Now with our hand, we have an opportunity of protecting it depending on how he wants to do it. We don't have any Red Hawks here right now, which is unfortunate, but he does have enough Dawn just to run into it. Okay, yeah, he did. Alright, 10k. We could give him both 2k counters, or we can discard a round table to minus his cost already, or minus his power. Makes him an 8, and then get rid of a 2k. But then he'll just run into it with either his Ezo or the dog. So let's just let this one go. I think logically it's probably better, because I don't have enough counter to protect myself from both the other swings. And if I give him counter here, I'd be at a huge disadvantage. So let's do it like this. Sweet. I'll take those. Get a Rad Beam here. That's fine. We won't use that, of course. He does not swing with Ezo. I think it's a no-brainer. We have to play Newgate. And then we should probably go 6 to lead. If he counters, I'll attack the dog. Nice. Let's go 7 lead here as well. Alright. So we got 1 counter out of hand, and then he did a damage, which is really good for us here. Goes 9. Sure. Okay, get an Ezo off that. It doesn't look like he also doesn't play blockers, or he hasn't drawn into any, which is interesting. Let's give him a 2k for this one. I was about to say, you definitely clear Yamato, don't you? Or, I mean, he can try to. Okay, Dinjiro. Alright. So you ready? Watch this cheeky play, man. We're going to round table the Dinjiro. Right? We'll attach 2 Dawn to Newgate. We'll swing in at the Ezo and pop the Dinjiro for free. You never see this coming. See ya. And then now he has 1/5 cost on board that we can just wreck if need be, which is probably the correct play. Although we cannot be 7k here and commit Dawn to it, which is unfortunate. So we have to play the Otama down to drop it to 5, and then attack into it. And leave up the Rad Beam, of course. Now this should be a good game. Nice. So he did play blockers. I don't think he got out of that anyway, to be fair. There's not much else he could have done there in that scenario. He could have guarded it, but he didn't have enough counter for the following turn or any way to pop my Newgate here. You know, I'm not even going to hold you guys. I don't want to do this matchup. And I probably shouldn't. But again, this is one of those decks in which you don't normally see a lot of. And sometimes Utah be cooking. Like, they really do. Sometimes they do really, really well. But, I mean... Alright. Let's run it. Let's run it. I'll do this for you guys, okay? If he wins, he wins. It is what it is. We will try our best. 9 out of 10, you're not going to see Utah at your locals. You're not going to see Utah on Sim quite often, so this is not going to be a matchup in which you are probably prepared for. So I don't know what to expect here. I've played a bunch of different Utah variations out there, not so much with Oden, so we'll see how this does go. I'll save the Red Hawk and we'll just pop the Luffy in the following turn. Just because, you know, that just saves us from getting attacked and all that sort of thing. Alright, gets rid of Shiki. Sure. 4 down left, so we could attach that to Luffy or develop something here. We'll just remove it. Gets an Utah. Yeah, Red Hawk's pretty good. It's pretty good. How do I want to play this? I guess next turn we could pop it with the Marco Otama combo. But for now, we'll just go 6k into it. This way he'll give me cards from hand. Nice. Just in case if he decided to attack leader there, he got a trigger, or he decided to let it happen. Just gonna go 5. I was about to say, huge risk. Alright, so he goes 6. Minus his 2k on Yamato again. I like that. That's pretty good. Definitely wouldn't expect the Sabo. It's pretty good. So we'll pop this with Marco. We'll just go 6 to lead. I mean, he'd be cooking, right? I'm not gonna lie, he'd be cooking. It's already at 10 dawn. Yep. I think we need Marco here. Unfortunately. He can't swing into it with Sabo. But if he does that, he will lose Sabo in the following turn. Like, I'm pretty sure he should know this. Okay, so he's going 5 in lead. Don't you do it. I has faith in you. Oh no. Alright, we'll counter out. As much trash as I talk about Denjiro, I sure do draw him a lot. Alright, so at least now we can be an AK body. And I can, I guess, float 1 Dawn here, just to make it seem like I have like a Radical Beam or a Guard Point or something. Go 6 lead. The reason why I decided to attack with Marco is because he'll feel obligated to try to clear it. Which is okay, I don't have anything in hands, so it's kind of like a pseudo blocker in this scenario. Ooh. Okay, alright. Right? Yep, cool. Even if I do counter out, he'll clear it with Shanks, so... It's either I waste my hand or just waste my hand, right? Get another Marco here. Where is... Okay, this works, never mind. I was about to say, where's my new gate? But this should work out. I guess the worst of the two would be Shanks, right? Like, realistically. Because he's swinging at 12 each and every turn. I think we can deal with Newgate at some point. If I decide the round table here, we do it on Shanks, we throw it down to Marco. We have 1 Don left to play with, which makes us a 7k, which will allow us to attack leader. Because I can't hit him with Yamato. And then we take at least 1 damage next turn from Newgate. He's got 1 Dawn up. So that gives me the impression he either plays with Guard Points or Rad Beams, or maybe a mix of both. Or it could be like a Blast Breath. There's a lot of different variations that Uther can run. That hand size though, man. Oof. I think we can get there, boys. Depending on what they decide to develop here, I think we can get there. Okay, maybe not. Never mind. It's gonna be a struggle. 6, 7. Newgate hits me as well. It might come down to what we get here off these triggers. Because I can give him both Denjiros here, but then that's my whole hand. Unfortunately, it's like something you have to do. Wow. Wow. Alright. You're cool. Maybe I should have taken that hit. I don't know. Goodness. Alright. Double Red Rocks. Or Red Hawks. Maybe we just go huge here in Yamato. I think we can go 11. And 1 Dawn on leader. Or that's 10. Sorry. So he needs a Rad Beam and then a 1k counter. Or does he let this hit? I think if this hits, he has a possibility of losing. But I don't know what's in the hand, so. Yep, Rad Beam, 1K, fair. We either do 11K with Marco here, or we do 10K with Marco, or we leave up both for Dawn for both Red Hawks. Let's go 6. Let's poke them. 7. Okay. I feel like we've all been in those scenarios where you're tempted just to swing, but he has one Dawn open, and it's probably a Rad Beam. If that's the case, we won't make it through. Because that pushes him up to 10K. I've got to assume he has like 1K counter at the very least. So this would mean my life here has to be a Red Hawk to stay alive. And we've already seen a few of them, so I don't think we can get there. Let's poke it. Does he have it? Okay, so he had a 2K. I think it's a good game, Gan. I think it is. I don't think I can come back from this, or at least like get there. I think the kid there really helped out, because even without the kid, he had the 2K Shiki for the Yamato for the extra like 1,000 or whatever. But perhaps if he didn't have the kid, we'll have to see. We'll see the hands. Yep. That's a big number. That's all I got, buddy. It's a good game, though. It's well played. Oh, no. So, yeah, he did have the counter, regardless, even if he didn't have the kid. It was really, really good. But he did have the Rad Beam as well. That's what I was contemplating on. Whether or not to just stack all 4 down on Marco and go for the swing. But, in any case, hopefully you had fun, man. It was a lot of fun playing against you. Yeah, I'll put you in the video. It's fine. You got it. Alright, you got it. Overall, though, we're going to dive into one more. No. Actually, you know what? We'll probably play 2 more games. See y'all in a split second. Let's go. I'm sorry. I lied. I didn't mean it. We're already trending over an hour here, so this will probably be the last game, and then we'll dive back into the deck list. And then we're going to be working on our brand new video coming out up next, which will be Doflamingo Birdcage. Get ready for it. I'm very excited about it. I'm very, very excited to bring it to locals here for this new meta, be it RP laws everywhere. But overall, let's dive into this game here and see what we can do against Ace. This is going to be a tough game overall, especially in OP07 when Ace gets some new stuff. So, not looking forward to that. I am looking forward to playing him, though, that's for sure. He's one of my favorite characters in this series when it comes to, you know, the good guys, if you will. But this deck can be very, very spooky, especially if you're not ready for it. And I think it has that flexibility to be played in numerous different ways, so you don't always know what to expect, which is kind of nice. I've seen some decks run Red Rock. I've seen some decks run a bunch of yellow cards that you don't typically see, like Thunderbolts work as well here, which is kind of interesting. Satori being one as well, which is a 2K counter, of course. We all know what that does, but it's something that Ace can also see and put back on top of his life, which is kind of nice. Let's go 7 to lead. I'm already feeling like, okay, never mind. I thought it was going to be like an Onami or something, considering he stacked it, but maybe it's not. I do like the Ivan, the 3-cost blocker. It's kind of different here in Ace. It works really well. Go 7. We definitely want to counter out. I don't want to give him life early, at least right now. Reject, huh? Okay, fair. I can't wait till that card goes bye-bye. Then I don't feel obligated to run it in any of my yellow decks at that point. But hopefully he doesn't have another one, and then Yamato can actually get some damage in. Like I mentioned before, I feel like she's really, really good into yellow decks when you know they don't have the removal. It only takes one hit, and being like semi-green color, you have the ability to rest cards. Speaking of Red Rock, did not see that coming, but that means he either had to have another one here or you have to deal with Newgate. And he's the big boy. Our hand's looking pretty good here too. We get the double rad beams, a round table, and a Red Hawk, so we're sitting pretty well. Any big threat he puts on the board, we can easily remove it with round table and Newgate, so I expect to see something like Katakuri or Big Mom. I think Cat gives him more flexibility though, because it allows him to heal extra life and all that sort of thing. There's an Ivan, sure, no problem, pretty good. I can tell he plays a lot of ace, man. Most of the time I'm sitting here waiting for my opponent, you know, thinking. He's got 5 Dawn left to play with. Sure. Oh, I forgot. Never mind. We don't have Dawn up. I was already thinking a turn ahead to pop the Ivan with the Red Hawk and all that sort of thing. We just have to take this hit. That sucks. Alright. I mean, we could do this, play Yamato down, rest the Ivan, attach 2 Dons and Newgate, pop the Hiyori. It's probably the better play. I know we drew the Izo off of the Hiyori here, so we could have potentially played him down as well. But I think just doing it this way was probably better. I like the Denjiro pick though. That's really strong, especially into all black decks. So, and blue, really, really good. We don't get the 7k here. We don't get the leader boost because we don't have a 5 cost on board. That's Wanu. So I might just want to go 5 here. Leave up the rest of the Dawn. And you know, I probably should have went leader instead. I mean, he had the counter anyway, but still. He might have been opted to take that hit to leader. Just healed it back anyway with Ace's abilities. I mean, it goes face up, and at the end of the turn it goes to the trash, but you do have other abilities, other cards in hand and in your deck that can just fix that for you. So, alright, so 7k. So he's going to be a 9k swinging at me. Another 7k ace on board as well. He's got a lot of big boys here. Still 6 Dawn left to play with. So that's a potential another Red Rock if he has it. We can Hawk the Ivan, which is nice. Oh, he's just going to go for it. Okay. So yeah, we'll Hawk the Ivan. Get that out of the game. We'll give him a 2k here. Let's give him the Izo instead. Go 6. We'll give him my Otama. I guess we have the Rad Beam. Okay, so we get Marco here. I don't know if we can kill him this turn, realistically. I think we have to be able to do the round table thing. Get rid of the Denjiro, because that's very important right now. Or we can get rid of the Ace, because Denjiro is like a 6k. We can attack the Newgate into Denjiro and then pop the Ace with the ability. We should be chilling. Nice. 4 Dawn left. We just need one of these up. Okay. Let's go 7 again. You gotta have the counter, man. Nice. Okay. Now, depending on what he does here, we should be able to win. I mean, he could bounce an Ace to top of life. Nope, Satori. Cool. I was thinking ace into baby ace and then do the thing. Oh, that was good. Well played. So he took the Satori back to hand, which is nice. So we know he has another 2k in hand at the very least. 8 here. 5 Don left to play with. Let's go ahead and do the thing. And then we will counter out of this as well. And I think we're good. So we get an Ezo here as well. We're going to attach 2 Don to Newgate. Pop the Hiyori. That's not good. Let's try to clear ace here if possible. Let's go 9 to face. Okay, now we'll clear ace with leader. And we'll leave up 1 Don just to like float a rad beam. No, this is a stressful game. 2 cards in hand. He needs a blocker here. Or a way to have another rush unit. Because remember, aces, the leader ability allows him to search top 5, so, I mean, he could find it there. Not bad. Either way, it's always a counter, which is nice, unless it's a red. Or a Newgate, sorry. 4 Don left, so he swings at 9. I think we should counter out of this. So we don't have enough to counter out of the 9 swing. Unless that's another 2k. I think it's like real risky to take this hit. So what do you do here? I don't know about luck. Because everything in this deck gets counterpowered, buddy. Alright, Red Hawk. Oh yeah, this is game. Alright, cool. Yeah, this was a tough one, man. Ace is pretty it's pretty stressful, but it was a lot of fun. Go 7 to face, cool. No 0 cost event, which is nice. And GG. Well played. Very, very solid player. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate everybody who decided to make it to the end of the video today. I had a lot of fun with Oden, and this is going to be a brand new leader, in which I am going to be incorporating into my locals scene. Let alone, we will be having a playmat design coming up for Oden as well, featuring here on the channel in the YouTube community tab, so that will be available for the next giveaway here as well. Speaking of playmats, side note, we finished 2 mats here recently, a Roanoa Zoro and a Sabo mat, in which will be showcased here soon, so stay tuned for those. In any case, if you guys are interested in learning something completely new from EB01 or a brand new leader, you're tired of seeing Enel or Katakuri, you want to play something different, Oden might be the leader you guys want to give a shot. He's a lot of fun. He does have some unique builds that you can do, but again, his Wanu package is kind of limited in space, give or take. But with the splash into red, you can kind of change the build out differently. Now, there are some cards here in which I absolutely hate. You know, this might be a hot take, but Dinjiro, I think this card is absolutely terrible. Like, to be fair, this card is really, really bad. We have some other cards that are much better than him, except for they are not Wanu. So, for example, the reason why I feel this list could be better if it wasn't just stable to Wanu for this ability, if this was a 5 cost character or more, this might do a little bit better. But considering you have to play with certain cards to make this, hit the criteria. I get it. It's the name of the game sometimes, but this card is so dated, and we're almost in OP07, so we need something a little bit better than this if we're actually going to use this 5-drop in the deck. And if you remember, we had another card that came out in OP05. It did something completely similar to Jinjuro, which is Chaka. So much better. On play, you can activate this ability. It's simply just a better version of the 1-drop Nami. You know what I mean? For the same exact cost, essentially. Except for Chaka, of course, gives you more Dawn. Jinjuro also gives you more Dawn, but this has to stay on the board for a turn and then attack. With all these decks running around that are very, very focused on heavy removal, be it, like Sakazuki, of course, still, for some reason, still in the game. Gecko Moria still running around here. It's very hard to get your 5-drops to stick on board for longer than 2 turns. So to be able to rely on something such as Jinjuro is a little bit hard. But overall, I've had a lot of fun coming up with these different Oden builds, and I do hope you guys give them a shot. This was one of the ones in which my mind is kind of set on. I will be tweaking numbers here and ratios and trying different things, but I do very much enjoy the package with Edward Newgate, Marco, and Roundtable. But if you guys are more interested in the first one here that I showed you a second ago, give it a shot as well. It's a lot of fun to play with. You do miss out on Marco in the Roundtable, but you still have access to the Ezo with the Red Hawks, which is pretty fun, and the guard points with the Radical Beams. But either way, this has been Pawseplays. Remember to smash the like button so we get these videos floating around. Make sure to subscribe for the channel for all things One Piece. And I will catch you guys at Locals and in the next video. I'll see y'all later.